Ashley aboard here today. And wait a minute, Ashley, and why did I forget your name? Gosh, Jamie and Ashley, I am so sorry. They are here today. They're nurse practitioners. I just drew a blank. I guess I'm getting old.
Relationship, as I call it. But no, these are normal kind of developmental issues that affect everybody. And today we're talking about emerging adults, your teenager, your youngsters having these problems. But you know, marriage and family therapists, again, they're going to work with you. They're going to help you see that you're not alone, put together a plan, and move forward. Yeah.
All right. Matt is on the phone with us. Matt, good afternoon. Welcome to the show.
Hi, how you doing?
You're doing well, Matt. How about you?
What's going on, Matt?
I'm doing all right. Just got a few questions here. Let's see here. Where do I start? Been married for going on 3 years in December. We got a 2-year-old. We didn't really rush into things, but you know, we were planning on getting married, and then found out she was pregnant, so we moved up the date. Let's see here. Last year around this time, found out that she was being promiscuous, and then you know, we dealt with that and then went to marriage counseling. And now here recently, a year later, starting to feel the same thing, noticing things. And you know, I'm just a hard-working man, just trying to do what I can to try and keep my family together. And I know our sex life hasn't been the greatest, because I've kind of went down. My performance has gone down. It's kind of bogged me down as a man. I mean, I'll be 32 here in July, and I've been to doctors about it, and nothing seems to work. So I feel like that's the problem in my marriage, and I don't know how to what to do.
All right, Matt, I really appreciate that. That was, you know, you certainly shared a lot, and you're brave, and I appreciate that. So let's try to help you out. So you said a couple of things. First of all, many people, if they're young and in love, they say, oh, well, we don't have a problem. Or if we've had a good sexual or physical connection in the past, when things start to get off kilter in that way, especially when you're a young man, 32, it is pretty scary. It is alarming, especially if you go to a medical doctor and you can't find a you know, medical or physical cause. So a couple of things that a marriage and family therapist can help you with. Well, first of all, good kind of just psychoeducation. I don't care how strong you are as a couple. You have a child, sexual satisfaction, marital satisfaction, it dips. I mean, we have lots of good research that says because of the stressors, a loss of sleep, now instead of just thinking about one other person, now accommodating a new life, really putting their needs above your own. This is going to stress even the strongest relationship. And, you know, I have 2 kids, 4 and 5, and only now, you know, the older they get, some normalcy returns, but your time is really not your own. So if you have a hard time making time for the couple early on, when you have kids, it's going to be that much harder. Now, you had another thing, promiscuous or a breach of trust or infidelity, whatever you want to call it, that is certainly a big blow to any relationship. So to recover from that, it takes time. It takes transparency. It takes someone like you being able to forgive, someone like your partner really being accountable and transparent in what they're doing and what they're not doing. So also very common with a man or woman, when your partner strays like that, it does make you think about yourself. Am I not desirable? Why? What does this other person have that I don't have? So those are a lot of normal fears, and that can kind of get into your head and mess, you know, really kind of damage your confidence and maybe inhibit your sexual performance. So especially if you have a spouse that does not know how to handle that or gives you reason to be insecure, it can even make it worse. So you can do a couple things. Sounds like you went to a marriage therapist before, and they may not have been a LMFT, but when you go to an LMFT, again, that stands for Licensed Marriage and Family Therapist, of which we have 400 in Kentucky. Many of them, most of them, centrally located in the Wave Country viewing area. You see it up there. We'll tell you how to find one of those in a second. So you can click on that box. It says Locate a Therapist, Matt, and what will be in there, only licensed marriage and family therapists. They will have profiles. You can click on there to their website. You're going to get a sense of them. And many people will see one therapist, and either because they're not trained to see couples or because it wasn't a good fit, they will see another one. So when you go back, you want to make sure you and your wife are comfortable. and that therapist may choose to work with you together as a couple. Or if you're really having these issues, Matt, where you're kind of lost confidence and you really need to be built up in that way, they can work with you individually as well, especially on these issues around if there's nothing physically wrong with you around intimacy and sexual performance. So that is something that I hope you do, and that you feel these same feelings coming on is a good sign. So I would trust your gut. Don't wait on that. You want a plan, and sometimes, as I was saying earlier in our last segment, you need an individual plan and a couple and a family plan, and a marriage and family therapist can help with that. So again, I appreciate your honesty. Thanks for calling, and I wish you much luck with that.
You know, to compliment Matt on being transparent, that's tough though. How important is it though when you have an issue like Matt has, for both members, you know, both the husband and the wife, to be present during therapy? It seems to me Matt is open. He wants help. He's saying, I'm ready. What do I do? But if his wife is, maybe she's pushing back a little bit and saying, that's not for me. How important is it to have both of them there?
Yeah, well, initially, when you meet the therapist, you definitely want both people there, unless there is some indicator not to. And what I mean by that, and it's your intention, if it is not safe, if you're a victim of domestic violence, or there is something jeopardizing the emotional or physical safety relationship, you wouldn't. But in a situation like this, you at least want to meet both partners, and perhaps what would come for that is deciding, is this a relationship we want to work on or not? And as we said, this discernment period, and therapists might choose to work with Matt, especially if his partner was on board, but Matt wanted to kind of build up this confidence, work with some of these self-defeating thoughts he had before they did the couples work. So you could work as a couple, or you could work individually at a time leading to doing that couples work again. All
right, we have another caller now. If we can't get to the answer, what we could do is maybe continue the next time you're on the show. Courtney is with us. Good afternoon, Courtney.
Hi.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Courtney.
Hi, I'm calling basically where it stands. I've been in a relationship now for about 5 years, and it's gotten to the point where every single day we have to argue about having sex. It's not something that can always be done. There's not always time. We have kids involved. And I don't know what else to do.
All right.
I really don't know what to do.
Okay. Really good and a common one. How much time I have, John?
You've got about a minute.
Okay, I'll give you the minute version. So in every relationship, there's what we call a higher drive partner and a lower drive partner. And sexuality, as we said, sexual connection, that last call, is going to ebb and flow throughout a long-term relationship. And again, especially when you have kids, it's not that simple just to create intimacy. And stereotypically, most women get their intimacy and connection through, building time together first, shared experience, good things, and then they feel ready to have sex. Most men would start with the sex in order to get the intimacy. And again, it can be flip-flop, but that is generally how it works. So you want to frame it to your spouse is that you need to feel connected first in order to have that. And in order to feel connected, you got to do these little things, and you got to be able to fight fairly. And if it comes between a power struggle or just a fight about sex, and if that's all you think you are to him, it's not going to make you feel very attracted at all. So a marriage and family therapist is going to frame that intimacy in a way that is going to fit both members of the couple. They're going to help you guys develop these skills to build on this intimacy. So I definitely think it would be a good thing to go contact an LMFT. Go to www.kmft.org or the www.therapistlocator.net, and they're going to be really able to help you with something like that. These are great calls today. Again, things that sometimes people get uptight about, but it affects pretty much everyone, so there's no shame in seeing a marriage and family therapist. Again, remember, prevention is the best form of intervention.
And if you didn't get in this week, get in next Thursday when Dr. Eli will be back. All right, coming up here, we're going to talk about skincare, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeed, it's all about the eyes. You see these bags? We're going to take care of those. Coming up next on Wave 3 Listens.
For people with, and we've